Okay. I'm going to call the meeting to order at 6 p.m. And if everybody could please stand and join in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Do we have the need of an executive session? We do. We do. Okay. We're going to adjourn then at 6:01 to discuss legal issues. May I have a
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstained? We will be back as quickly as we possibly can. Yep.
We're going to the office conference room this time.
No. It doesn't get cold.
My ears burning.
So we are. Are we gonna wait for Chris? Or can we just continue? Okay, so we're gonna return to regular session at 6:54. And that brings us to our friends with the capital project monthly report.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. It's nice to speak with you all again. So we're going to be giving the monthly report for August of 2024. So I'll wait for hold up. We will start as always with photos we have.
Did we reconvene?
Yes, I
I'm
did.
sorry. Yeah,
6:54.
Sorry, thank you.
That's
I
all right.
apologize. Sorry.
So we're getting to the update. So the first two there on the top left and right there, we're really trying to highlight the UPK playground. Hopefully you've all had an opportunity to go and see it. Really
No.
amazing.
I did.
We're really happy with how it turned out. I will say we had our owners meeting last Thursday, and when we got to the owners meeting, really kind of where each of us sit, there was a printout of one of the security cameras. And I'm thinking to myself, it's face the play. I'm like, oh man, what are they gonna point out now, right? And it was one of the, unfortunately, you can't really see it here, but the right side of the screen is like this spherical, I don't know what it's specifically called, but this spherical type of playground equipment. There must have been 20 or 25 kids packed.
Oh, I love that.
It really did. That's the stuff we love to see, right? Because this is a tough industry. Oh, yeah, there it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
that,
what you're saying is if we can fit on that, we should try it out.
No, what they're saying is the kids were willing to squeeze in there to have fun.
but
That's awesome.
It really was for our team to see that. It really did bring a smile to our face and start that meeting off right. So again, that's what it's all about. It does kind of get lost in sight. At the end of the day, this is for the kids, right?
Yep.
And that's what's important to us. So yes, you can see we've taken a few photos, and once we're at the end of the job, we'll put together, kind of like a time lapse of all these areas to show you, but.
And at some point, we want to see that picture with the 20 kids. In the
Yeah,
hall.
It's every day, honestly.
But you can see that colored area, so that was the colored asphalt surfacing, so like
Oh, cool.
hopscotch games.
Foursquare.
That drop shot thing in the back, I've never played that game specifically, but.
That's amazing.
It does all look very nice, yes, very colorful as well.
But no merry-go-round or witch's hat?
Not allowed anymore.
There is a few things to finish up there, so like this, yeah, I think the cursor's hovering over it now. That gets like a canvas top to that. The contractor will be installing that over the weekend of the 14th and 15th of September. And then towards the very back of the photo, yes, exactly, where the cursor's over, that new pavilion,
Look at Sam.
that roof will also be completed the 14th and the 15th.
Okay.
Some of the metal came bent, it wasn't bent correctly, so it had to go back to be rebent. So that's us highlighting the UPK playground, we really like it. On the last update, we showed you the UPK interior, so didn't want to kind of belabor that. The next 4 photos here are all from the TRA 3rd floor, so we are substantially complete up there. It's a remarkable space, it truly is beautiful from where it came from. And we're thrilled with the district to really have access and use this space fully. So the photo on the second row here, the left one, that's kind of that passageway. So it's not like a true corridor, like in the sense out here in the hallway, right, where, it's just kind of all walled in and whatnot. So it's an open concept. To the right there is your steam space. Okay, sorry. I'm just trying, it's just an open space.
I love it.
The photo probably doesn't do enough justice, so would encourage you to get up there, but those baffle ceilings, they're really neat. I know Zach particularly really liked those a lot. If you want to scroll to the photo to the right, that is, on the second row, that's your esports room. We do have some wood trim kind of around the yellow, like that yellow wall to left that needs to be finished, and that is on order. But that esports room, as a video game player myself, that's very cool.
That is.
It's fully embracing that. This photo is the steam room itself. As you can see, I do know furniture's coming this week, but that space really is for that.
I know Andrea is so excited.
Yeah.
I want to see the before, like right before you got started, and then just this. I know it's nice seeing the phases, but just a side by side of this space look like this, because I actually forgot what it looked like now.
Well, it's almost tough to make any equivalent comparison. because
Right.
There used to be that.
Because that wall.
Yeah.
Space in two.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
But it,
transformation's pretty
and
remarkable.
many of us went to that school and we couldn't go on the 3rd floor, so.
Health class.
Well, yeah, health class years ago.
With the 5th grade class, but it's a classroom space to be utilized.
Used to be the cafeteria way back when.
Oh, my Lanta. Now we're really going back.
Yeah, so that was the photos. Again, this was a nice update to put together because the photos are really just, it says that they're beautiful. So moving over to the project issues and concerns. So under the critical issues, we've continued to maintain the C8 schedule there. At the last board meeting, we did update you that, our new projected completion was the end of December. One of the key things in the immediate future we have here is the delivery of the exterior curtain wall glass. So that's to enable a dry-in so that we can start advancing interior finishes. We have heard it's being shipping from Nova Scotia in Canada the week 9/13. So I think that's next Tuesday or something like that.
This Friday.
It's Friday.
This Friday, even better, sorry.
It's Friday the
Yeah, I guess-
13th.
No.
It won't be, this Friday the 13th.
But, yeah, I guess the only kind of contingent factor there is how long it'll take to get through the border. That's kind of that only unknown we don't know. Otherwise, we're figuring about a week in transfer, so.
Okay.
Is it coming over ground or?
Yeah,
Ground, okay.
truck. No, it's a common carrier.
Is it?
Yeah, we have confirmation, it's a common carrier. Yes, ideally would have liked it to be a dedicated truck, so it's coming here. That does prolong the transit time. Where once it's through the border, we'll be able to have a better understanding. And then really the other, under critical issues with this TRA elevator. So this is just focusing on the exterior wall. So specifically brick, you get the brick on. That then allows the roof to go on, windows to go in, MEP to finish up their rough in. And then the elevator company can finish the cab installation so that we can get actual use of that elevator.
Can I ask a quick question? Well, maybe Tom has the same answer. So can we use that space until the elevator is done?
Not if any students need to use the elevator.
Okay, thank you.
And
If they don't,
if they don't, we can.
okay,
There's one
that's what-
student who is on crutches currently, so. That class, what's the timeline for the elevator, you think?
We were projecting the end of September. Admittedly, we do not have a warm fuzzy feeling at the time. We are struggling to get the mason back. We're supposed to have a mock-up reviewed today. That mock-up was not completed today. So being transparent, I don't have a fuzzy feeling about the end of September. We are pushing, I promise you, we are pushing. But
So it's based on their schedule right now, is
We gotta
that?
get the mason back. We have to finish the exterior brick, which again, as I kind of just explained, will really allow the follow-on
Okay,
activities to come together.
all right.
So
It's a
are you
predecessor.
regretting filling in the dumbwaiter now, or, sorry?
Yeah,
I just put to keep you picture, you know, and
so. We think the end of September is achievable, but it'll be tight. And if we don't, and if we're not starting brick next week, then it's probably.
Gonna be
not-
pushed out.
Yeah, it's probably not likely. Anything else on the critical issues, otherwise I'll move down to.
Is that what
the-
you-
Yeah, I just, I'm sorry to have to, I just thought about it more and more. And I just want to lead in that I'm just pleased. I've been here a long time. We've gone a lot of projects and I think that this whole group is one of the best that we've had to work with. I personally, professionally, I can, can't say enough. But I guess my thing is, and I know I've asked this in the past, but I just want to do it again so that it's out there. It was projected for 8/6, August 6th. Now it says end of December, which is Christmas, which would be January. So, and I do this, so I'll do it here. It's like, all right, August, or September, October, November, December, January. February, March, April, May, June. 10 months of school, 5 months, it's not gonna be available. The other thing is, I know that the field is a wonderful thing and we have a lot of people out there and that was a great thing. The pool, I think, impacts more students in this district than any other thing that's here. All the different school that goes through there. That bothers me that that's this far behind. So I guess that was a lead into. And I guess I should have started with my Sergeant Joe Friday, just the facts, ma'am, those are just facts. I guess it's concerning to me, not knowing a lot of this. If that's when it's supposed to be done and it's 5, 6 months past, there's no consequences for the groups that have made it go late. I understand there's a boulder in there, whatever, but how does that work? I know some contracts are written that if it's done in advance, there's bonuses, if it's done this way. And I know we had something out here and it was lights. And they were like almost a year late. And lights are lights, but this is this, and I'm just like, are there any consequences? Because I know that if we had a contract and we said, we're not paying you for 5 months after you built everything. And I'm just saying on the most basic way of saying this, that it's upsetting to me that it's, oh, this is wonderful, working with you is wonderful, but the fact is, that's to me one of the main parts, and it's that far behind and it could possibly go farther. And it's very impactful on our students, so.
There's no liquidated damages.
Yeah, there's not liquid.
I think I asked that right from the get-go.
Yeah.
So you want to kind of explain what?
I've had it explained before, but I just think it's good to have it in the
Just to-
public because
Repeat it.
if I wanted to buy something from somebody and we have an agreement and they don't do what they said they were gonna do, then I have recourse, and it just doesn't seem like if we didn't pay, there's recourse. If they're not doing what they're supposed to, there is no recourse. Again, just so it's in the public, because I brought it up in the past, and I just think that's something that people should know, because,
That we are not happy as a board that this is
oh,
happening.
it's,
right, because there are always unforeseen circumstances, like you said, the boulder.
but 5 months isn't, just
Is a big
unforeseen
boulder.
circumstances, and as a board member that represents the community, and like I said, what is it? Murphy's Bank, I don't know.
She's not.
First grade, when do they start swimming? Kindergarten? It used to be.
No, they all the way through a kindergarten.
Kindergarten, not the
Yeah.
pre-K, but
No.
that's my
K through
point.
12,
K
right?
through 12, use that building.
Right.
The swim team, the community, and like I said, that's more than the field, and the field is wonderful. It's just.
And how long?
Everything that's done here, as wonderful as the playground is, that impacts everybody pretty much in the district. So that's where I'm coming from, and I'm pleased. I'm trying to do it respectfully because I really respect you, and trust me, I don't tell everybody that. I only say that if I really believe it. and I
That's
do.
true.
Well, people
So
don't,
Tom, was your
so
question, like, are there?
I
is
just
there an
want, I just
opportunity
wanted
for
out
Liquidated
why.
damages, okay.
why there's no recourse
Recourse.
to why whoever is making that run late, not the boulder.
Right. You're just
1
using
month,
that
2 months,
example.
5 months is half the school year and how it's impactful. So
Yeah.
that's what how come that there is no,
I'll take that one, Tom. Honestly, and this was a conversation back years ago when we were getting into the contracts for the project.
Yep.
And it was brought up by Tiana about liquidated damages. We talked to, again, the school district's legal counsel. And you can absolutely put liquidated damages in the contract. The problem is the contractors, once that kind of language is in there, it's more prohibitive and you don't get that level of a playing field with your bids.
no, and I know that, but I mean, can you say what that is really like?
Oh, explain what it is.
No, I know what it is
Oh.
because I know what happened before and that's what we brought up. And I know Brian sat right next to me and and we were told, if you put in damages, then they're not gonna bid on it. I mean, I guess
Yeah.
that's what I'm trying to say. So basically, there is a constraint on us.
Yep.
There's less of a constraint because it limits your pool.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm gonna answer questions.
But you were really just trying to, I think your point was for anyone that's listening in the documentation that Stacy does, that it is a concern. We don't take it lightly. Turner's doing everything they can. There's contractors and subcontractors involved, but liquidated damages is not, it's a deterrent to get the most amount of bidders when you send out the bids to get the best bang for your buck. So
So
we
to put it in
chose
that last
not
part,
to.
that last part is just, we don't have any legal recourse and there is no,
Yeah.
anything to go against them being late.
You can't ground them for anything.
It's not like a financial penalty, not contracts.
So
Any kind of a penalty
Yeah,
for them being late.
we don't have the liquidated damages, meaning that it's a per day penalty or payment.
Yeah.
For that, and as Zach has said, I think that does, there's different schools of thought on that, and it also not only can limit competition, but it also can set you up for kind of a contentious relationship
Because everyone's gonna pay per.
right out of the box that folks are.
No, and I get it, but sitting on the board, it's kind of contentious to me that there's no recourse that we have to make that go faster, would be saying.
Yeah.
If I showed up that late to work, I'd be in trouble. If I didn't pay, so I'd be in trouble. So my just basic view is somebody should be in trouble that it's 5 months late and it's impacting the district.
It's fair to say, though,
So.
With all of the updates you provided, that you have gone to the contractors and the contractors, their subcontractors, with all of we had some unforeseen things that happened at the pool. So unfortunately, you can't project that. Those things happen, that's risk, right? And then you got back on track. But in general, I don't believe that there's anything at this point Turner could have done to make the project schedule any better than you've done today. Do you agree with that? I mean, for the pool, I mean, you guys have.
I mean, there's always.
There's some
there's always things
opportunity.
You can do better, like
Right.
lessons learned we've taken.
Right.
I wouldn't tell you that there's nothing Turner could have done to do.
But you're actively trying, your
I'm trying
goal,
to be
you're
proactive.
actively pursuing to get the pool done. You always have lessons learned, but you can't, fix the past. You can only fix the present. And from my understanding, and for the updates that you provided, you guys are doing everything in your power to move things along without sacrificing quality to get this project done.
That's correct.
Is that a fair assessment?
And I wasn't going after. him.
No, I'm just asking the question.
I'm
for-
saying that a little, it went from being like a month to 5 months. And I mean, that doesn't happen from a boulder. And that's all I'm trying to say. And it's not against you. I'm saying frustrated as a board member, as a member of this district, that there's nothing that we could do to have us try to make that have gone faster. And that's just the way that it is.
Yeah,
And that's all I wanted to
I
have
can't
it.
put brick.
No, but there's no penalty for whoever made it go slower. Especially if I did want to liquidate on my way of saying, how many students are in the district, how many hours are we losing services over there, how many people in the, that's what I'm looking at. And over 5 months, that's a lot of people with a lot of time that's gonna have to get lost or squished. So, thank you for letting me
Like we
rant.
did it, we are pushing we do make sure that there are levers in your contract for notifications and documentation that we do. To continue to move that forward. I mean, obviously, the hope is that folks take pride in what they're doing. And they want to deliver as well, right? So we really try and, develop that sense of getting folks to be compelled to do their best. So, but yeah, we have had some issues, we have had some changes, we have had some things that have come up inherently, which you do. So but we're gonna continue to push, and we can, we'll do everything in our power to deliver as soon as we can.
And so the very last thing I promise. Out of all the time I've been here and all everybody we worked with, this has been the best relationship that I know of. So I just want to qualify that. It's not,
No, we understand that.
and as individuals,
It's not personal.
it's stand up people, and I get it, and you do take pride in your work, and I can tell all of that. It's just, I'm frustrated.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You don't got a granddaughter on the swim team. I am frustrated.
All right, so to round out the concern section, really the TRA and UPK ones we have here, just focused efforts on completing punch list corrective work on a second shift. It's kind of naturally, once the schools come back, you do lose some of that momentum, the wind kind of comes out of sails, and it's difficult to get people to come here on second shift, we can kind of all understand that. Because that second shift for people may not, that's like that 3:30 to like 11:30 window, so it's tough.
We've also done whole projects where almost everything was done on second shift, but yeah, it's difficult to, yeah, no, I know.
I've been on it, it's.
Yeah, I'm just saying that this is, but it's also hard making the swap from going from first shift to second.
Correct. So that's just a concern to keep tracking. UPK wise, our punch list is in good shape. I just got, we just did quite a re-inspection today. So UPK wise, TRA, Greg, our architect here, had an opportunity to go start the third floor punch list. We've got the main space pretty much all punched out. So just finishing up the third floor. MEP wise, the MEP punch list is in good shape. They've been really proactive on getting after their.
So for the third floor, it's basically the furniture, which is coming this week, and then the elevator. Is that mostly what's left up there? And some little, yeah.
There's some like millwork, like display cases. The display cases aren't there, so we've kind of filled it in with just some sheetrock. It's not, very pretty, but they are coming. We told they're shipping this week. Some millwork trim.
So really the biggest piece that's left
For all
is,
intents and purposes, you can have classes.
it's the pool. I mean, the
No,
punch
it's
list item,
And the elevator, you have to have
well,
the.
the elevator.
Yeah.
And the elevator itself is there, it's in, the mechanisms in, the machine is in, the rails are in. We just, before we can get that and advance that to get it to a point where we can do an inspection, including the elevator inspector.
It has to be enclosed.
Has to be enclosed, has to be watertight.
Yeah.
And has to be fully functional, so.
Right, okay.
Safety, security wise. And that's really largely it is enclosed, meaning with the waterproof membranes on the outside, we need the basin back here.
Yep.
And that's been challenging.
Are there other masons?
There are, so.
I know, but that brings its own set of,
Yes, so them bringing somebody else. That's been a challenge, just candidly.
That's pretty much it for the project issues and concerns. In terms of our workforce metrics, put off just over 5,000 hours during the month of August, should say August, not July, to bring our total up to just over 67,000 hours work total. The schedule of substantial completion of milestones, you can see there, we've moved some of the areas under the complete section, such as the addition, the UPK addition, sidewalk playground, as well as the access road paving. That was also completed, paving and striped. As you probably can see. Nothing really new to update on the project budget there. Change management. I'm not exactly sure the delta from the last month, however many PCOs we're tracking, but we got 185 PCOs that we're tracking in total, 14% of our contingency remaining.
how comfortable are you with 14% remaining with so much of the pool still remaining? It's close.
It's close.
Okay.
It's close. Yeah, it's close. But we're in the finish stage, if you will, so we're hoping that the unforeseens have already.
I think you've largely vetted out the unforeseen stuff. You know, we're backfilled the shell of the pool was in there, the gutter. The gutter is coming later this week to start putting the gutter in there, so I mean, the shell is in, the roof is on. You know, I feel like we've rounded the corner in terms of finding any gremlins.
And just think, you know, when you dug out for the pool, you didn't find any archaeological things, so that's a plus.
And luckily, we weren't putting the pool over at the TRA.
That would have
We
been
could
a
have had the
shirt.
pool before with that other, there were tanks found underneath it.
Oh, God, Tom, you.
What was it, a 4,000 gallon septic tank that was half under the building and half?
They've been on the board way too long.
Yep.
That's why they know all these
That's
stories.
history.
Yes. they
Yep,
have
and then
history.
Fred Riordan was taking photos through the hatch and he almost fell in.
Oh, my God.
I don't think we're supposed to
They
say
didn't-
these things.
Their
publicly.
That's
as-bills
okay.
weren't as,
He talked
as
about it in
detailed as
public.
they should be.
There we go.
Yeah.
The contractor payments and the district POs and incidentals, so we're just shy of 87% paid out on the contractor contracts. And you can see kind of the percentages as they range there, with the site contractor and MEP contractors being in the 90% there. Overall, which is that number in the bottom right corner of the page, 84.5% paid out. So yes, about the contingency, it's relatively in line with our burn rate. QA/QC reports, so we got some to clean up there for the upstate companies, but our MEP contractors, we're up to date on our QA/QCs there. Field reports and inspections, so pretty consistent, you know, as we've mentioned before, Atlantic Testing Laboratories is a special inspection agent. Most recently, they've done the pool shotcrete, so the sampling for the pool shotcrete that was done, as well as, you know, seasonal concrete testing, and then finally the asphalt. It does mention there UPK punch list inspections were complete, both architectural MEP as well as site, and then TRA punch list inspection as well. In terms of some upcoming material deliveries, so projecting the TRA hot water tank, you know, Evans Mechanical already has that. They just need a window. They're going to look for that 1011 to install that. The third floor furniture, as we mentioned for TRA, should be arriving this week. The curtain wall glass talked about shipping 9/13. The display case is there, so we have a ship date of 9/16. That should arrive here in the same week, just from Syracuse. And then finally, the last one was the CA pool lockers. So we did get an update. Those are scheduled to arrive on site at 10/31. In terms of the ongoing and upcoming work in the next 30 days, again, keep in mind, this was theoretically the August update. For the pool, we got the gutter install. UG stands for underground, so the gutter install followed by underground ductwork, and then the balance of the pool backfill, which will bring us up to like the deck elevation. So we'll be prepping the slab on grade. At UPK, we talked about just punch list corrective work. Window shades, I know I did field a question about the window shades. They're shipping 9/18. Quite honestly, it's really just inexcusable that they're not here. Just to be upfront, it's inexcusable. And then also UPK, the exterior mosaic tile, that installation will be tomorrow. And then the exterior, it's like a Lucabon architectural metal panel. We're still awaiting a delivery date on that. We talked about TRA, really just a lot of the work pertains to the elevator. So the lobby has been painted. We got to get the ceiling put on. The second floor wall tile, so where the access the elevator on the second floor, some wall tile around it. So that is on order. And then finally, the cab installation. The elevator company is supposed to be here next week to complete that. However, if that brick's not done, I'm not sure if they'll give us an issue there. And then lastly, the third floor piecework trim. Yeah, I see the window shades, PA speakers, and punch list corrective work. So that really kind of gives you an idea of what we got coming up in the next 30 days. Really pool, UPK, rounding that TRA elevator.
Are at the CEA edition, are the bathrooms completed, the outdoor bathrooms?
That exterior toilet room, not yet. There's a little bit of grout that has to be completed. the company that's doing the exterior mosaic tile is the same ones that will grout it. So if they do that tile tomorrow, they'll grout, today's Tuesday, tomorrow's Wednesday, so they'll grout Thursday and Friday.
Gotcha, okay.
And they'll grout the remaining tile. Stays Thursday and
Okay.
Friday, so hoping by the end of this week that's all done. And that's true.
Nice.
Any other questions about that? All right, so to round out the update then, it's just lastly the engineering summary. So 255 RFIs to date, got one open there. 254 closed. Submittal wise, where you can see construction submittals, about 3% that are still open, and unsubmitted closeout submittals, we have made some headway there. In terms of special inspections, a lot of them, 344 to date, but luckily doing good on that efficiencies. So that is an update.
Beautiful. Everything is beautiful. It really is.
It looks amazing.
It's just, we are the envy of a lot of other districts.
All I can say is we're supposed to have the dinner here, so everything better be done by March.
Are you threatening them?
I am.
Why, yes, she is. It's not even veiled.
Well, thank you very much.
Well, thank you guys for coming. Thank you so much. Keep up the good work.
Thank you very, very
Jen.
much.
And thank you for all the information too.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Very,
Thank
very
you.
much.
And hopefully you guys don't have to drive too far to get home.
Thank you.
We're still having a pool party time. We just don't know when it is.
I don't want to have to fight off land sharks during the pool party.
That's right.
Can we get a really big floating flamingo to put in the pool? Okay. There was a letter of correspondence that you all should have had. And I'm still gonna say in your packet because it just makes more sense than saying in board docs.
Yeah, you know.
Okay. There is no policy discussion. However, we do have a policy for first reading. It is the wellness policy, number 7541. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Chris. And a second?
Second.
Who did I hear?
Molly.
Thank you.
No,
Tiana gets enough of them.
I do. I just do because no one says anything.
So the wellness policy that I gave you last time has edits on it. I hope you had a chance to read it. You will notice there's a wellness policy and there's a wellness plan. The wellness policy we had a committee come together. Murphy's not here, but we pulled together a committee in the spring. Our policy, as you could see, was very much out of date. There is a rubric that you have to use to assess your wellness policy based on regulations. It also is very much tied to our ability to access free meals. You have to have an up-to-date wellness policy. So the edits on there are based on the committee, some input, and it's based on essentially the rubric that says what you have to have in your wellness policy. The plan, in our old policy, we had our policy and plan attached to each other. But really, the plan is something that should be a living document. Like it should be something that is regularly assessed. It's that we have a team that's regularly giving input. We actually had a meeting today with Broome County Department of Health, Cornell Cooperative Extension, Broome Title of Food Services, and a number of us trying to figure out ways to incorporate some of the work that we're doing with Cornell Cooperative Extension and the vegetable beds that we have there, the work that they're doing with community schools, the work that farm to table work that our Broome Tioga partners are doing, and then also Broome County Department of Health has a grant that we're part of also that is based on wellness. And so they're going to come to the table with us and we're going to have a committee. We're going to try and incentivize some faculty members and community members to want to be part of this work to really make this, a actual wellness, not just something that we are doing because we have to have a plan, but really have it be meaningful and inform the things that we're doing and document some of the things that we're already doing, but try to invigorate what's happening with faculty, staff, families, and obviously students. So
So you're in the process now?
the
joining
plan part.
Committee
Yeah,
members for this?
are you interested?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
interested. Yes.
So that's awesome. Yeah, so that would be for the plan and to work on the plan. The policy is a little more simple.
I love the policies.
Okay,
And I do like a lot of the language changes that were made.
okay.
I do too.
I think that
Is there anything that stood out on the policy that you're concerned about or?
So, am I just weird, but where's the plan in board docs?
Are you in?
I see the policy in board docs.
Just the policy?
just the
Okay.
policy is because that's all we're,
But it's actually,
it's not.
actually on
Just
our
our
website.
policy.
Yeah.
But what we would do is not have it, it's listed right now as like connected to the policy.
Okay, so
But
we're
it
gonna
does not-
separate, but we don't have a copy of anything right
Yeah,
now.
no.
Okay.
No,
And it has some things that we worked on already, but this is, like I said, we want to have a team of people invested in
Okay.
really trying to make this a meaningful document.
it's not ready for our review, but the
Right.
policy is.
No, and I'm hoping that some of you will want to be, Molly said she is, but other people are interested in being part of that work.
Well, I would
Okay.
definitely,
Oh, I just had a question, because I know one of
I
the
would like to be
things,
too, especially with my health
The
education
food
degree.
and beverage is available in school, and I know a lot of times that we are superseded by state and federal. So I believe it was under my understanding that there were certain things that were not allowed to be sold in school, like during school times or when meals are being served. Is that, I don't know if that, does that need to be referenced, or is that, I know it's vague, but it's.
And have something along, it would be.
That we are
consistent
following-
with Following, you know.
Yeah. Just to double mention that we are following the rules as set forth that we're supposed to follow. It's
Yeah.
on the bags of food and beverages
Yeah.
available in school. I mean, something like that, that. I think it's good the way it is, but I don't think it hurts to have the second in there that we are following.
Yeah, okay.
It says right, the district will serve healthy, appealing foods and beverages at district schools following state and federal nutrition guidelines. It says it right there in the last sentence.
Is that?
Oh,
good?
it is, I'm sorry.
Yeah, is that good enough? I think that's.
That's good.
Okay,
Just caught it.
thank you.
You don't need any help with policy though, just the committee,
Just the plan.
the plan,
Yeah.
sorry. The
Yeah,
committee
plan.
to help with the plan. Are we
Yeah.
calling it a committee?
It's gonna, yes, the wellness
Okay.
committee.
Okay.
No, I like what you guys have
But you
done
are
for the
reading the
policy.
policy to.
Yes.
To
Yes.
make this change.
Yeah.
This is just the first reading though, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm. I do like that you added in there, like staff members who provide physical education shall be appropriately certified and trained. But mostly what I like is the change in language.
Yes. Much needed.
Yep.
Positive reinforcement versus negative.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't come up with the words to say it, but that's exactly what I was feeling like. Instead of being,
Obesity stuff instead of saying it's wellness and helping.
yeah,
I like that
Yes.
better.
Most definitely.
You probably.
Does anybody else have any other questions regarding the policy? Okay, all those in favor of approving it for first reading?
Aye.
I,
Any opposed? Any abstain? There are no policies for second reading. That does bring us to our first opportunity for comments from the public. I think that because Lexi is the only one is here, I'm sure that you remember that you can speak for 3 minutes.
Do you have anybody online?
Huh?
Do you have anybody online?
No, because usually they have to speak up. They have to register
Okay.
for it, and they usually let me know beforehand. She's just here.
Oh, come on.
You know,
You wanna say?
we ask that you, we ask that everybody stands and states their name. No public statements regarding individual students or employees. And anything you bring up, we won't be able to discuss because it's our time to listen. So that being said, is there anybody who would like to speak this evening? Sometimes it's nice to paraphrase. Okay. Commendations.
Okay, we would like to commend Mrs. Hawley, Ms. Burdick, and the Board of Education for a successful summer graduation ceremony held on August 27th. Thank you for everybody. It was very nice and very special, as it always is. Mrs. Prokop, Whitney Point Preschool, and Opportunities for Broome and Shenango for organizing and holding pre-K orientation for our new pre-K students on August 28th. Thank you, Mrs. Prokop. You did an excellent job. And lots of cute little ones running around. Whitney Point administration, faculty and staff for a successful welcome back night across all schools held on Tuesday, September 5th. Thank you for our Board of Education and our community schools people for tabling. And also thank you to Lord's Prevention Services, ACBC, BC Safe, Broome County Mental Health, Cornell Cooperative Extension, Crime Victims Association, WIC, Mothers and Babies, Northern Broome Cares, Broome County Health,
Yep.
Broome County Health Department was there with multiple tables actually. Broome County Health Department Tobacco Reality Check folks were there. Healthy Schools and Communities, Broome County Health Department, they had a number of tables. Also, Fidelis was there. They come very often to share health information, and we had Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts represented. So thank you to everybody for offering those resources to our community members. And thank you for the many families that came, and the kids who were so happy running in, so happy to come back to school. It was really awesome to see. And thank you also for our Youth Club Eagle that was making everybody happy at the senior. I know, it's not, I know.
I'm sorry.
It's their
Too
eagle.
mean. It's too mean looking.
Yeah.
Oh, you really think so?
It was scaring the little kids.
It was.
It was.
The eagle is?
It was scaring. The new one is too mean. The new one that they did. They have a
You
new.
went tough eagle.
I know, but it was scaring the little
You
children.
think the facial expression of the eagle?
Absolutely.
But it's not our eagle.
Like,
It's-
Oh,
Bunny
no,
in
it's not ours. It's
Oh,
the youth club eagle.
We
Well, the school needs to get a gentler eagle.
We have
We have a gentle eagle.
have an old eagle that goes back and
eagles
forth
are raptors,
in the basketball game.
right?
I thought you were gonna say it wasn't a golden eagle. That's what.
It's not a golden eagle, but there was kids crying and scared and didn't want to come in the building, but they were, yeah.
Were you?
Yes. Yes,
you were.
and at the TRA. There
Yeah.
were children at the
Oh, you
TRA
went?
too. I was in both.
All right.
Well, it could be kinder, gentler, but I see them cry at the mall when they're gone.
Well, I know.
Santa Claus, they're afraid of those kids,
That's
so.
No matter how nice.
Does your daughter like the eagle?
They're in the newsletter with the photo of my daughter giving her.
Yeah.
I love it.
I love it. Okay.
My daughter would have been running under the table crying.
Okay, well, thank you to everybody anyway.
Yeah.
And then our Assistant Superintendent, Ms. Kohler, and so many other people, district leadership team for providing support and information while implementing a successful superintendent's conference day on September 3rd and September 4th. And thank you to all of you for being there. That was very meaningful for our faculty and staff. I really appreciate that. Also, thank you to D5 Consulting for presenting, unfortunately, active shooter training on the second day of school. We had some really thoughtful conversation afterwards and input from lots of people, which gave us the opportunity to clarify some safety protocols and is going to inform our first safety meeting coming up. Particular, you wouldn't think in a big group like that we could have that kind of conversation, but we could. So it was good and sadly kind of timely.
Yeah, very sadly.
Whitney Point administrators, faculty, staff, and families for a successful start to the school year in general. Lots of people came together to work really hard. You know that we've implemented some things in the TRA and the high school that were a big change for everybody. But for the most part, it's gone really very, very smoothly. So thank you for
That's good to hear.
everybody, all the families in our community to coming together to prioritize our kids' ability to focus and have a safe environment. And then also, want to commend, I don't know if you saw on the sidewalk out here, all the students and faculty who were a part of the Chocolate Walk.
Yep.
They've done a nice job out front, and that's a really important suicide prevention month activity. So I thank everybody for that.
I wish I had taken photos of what they did out in front of the library because it was, yeah, I think it's a very good idea.
And can I just say, Joanne, you did a wonderful job at the opening.
Oh, thank you.
I know a lot of us some of us got to see it. And my students had to do their first reflection and several of them said, you know, we heard in the meeting about the school being community and people being tight knit and like, we've heard these things before, but then after their first, like, this is real. This school does this. I can't believe this is what's happening in a district. So you walk the talk.
Very nice.
And you thought you'd get away with not getting
Yeah,
your
that
head.
And let's remind everyone that doesn't know, Joanne has recently celebrated 35 years of service here at the Whitney Point Central School District.
Thank you.
But I don't know if we'll ever get up as far as Ginny Hill doing because
Amazing.
she started,
Yeah.
she graduated in June and they hired her on
I just can't.
July 1st and she
That's
worked for the
amazing.
district for 50 years, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Joanne, for your service.
Thank
you.
Thank you. And,
Absolutely.
And thank you, Stephanie. That was nice of you to do, even though I didn't.
We all
I know, but you
Yeah.
know, it's one of those things
Yeah.
where,
Just
you
gotta
know,
be done.
the recognition was due and it's important for people to really understand your commitment to the school and it's heartwarming.
I'm very grateful.
And I think I might use, I'm planning on using the quarterback and the receiver thing. I like that.
That was
What
funny.
is it there a receiver out there?
I like that. And I seriously, I might
Yeah.
have to use that. So
Yeah, there you go.
I like that a lot.
Okay, so I'm gonna do something a little unorthodox. I'm gonna ask that the district presentation that we were supposed to have, that we postpone it till the next meeting. For a number of reasons, although you might want to go over just the exit survey information on it because they requested that. But some of the data that I would like to talk about, we don't have yet, and we should by our next meeting. So I think if the board doesn't mind, we postpone it to our next meeting so we can have a more thorough conversation.
Mhm.
I'm happy with that. And
fine.
I'm not disappointed.
I am as well. Thank you.
Did this get?
Yeah.
printed?
Yep, and it
Okay.
makes sense. Thank you so much.
Yep. Anybody have any questions about that?
Right now, be great to talk about it later when we see. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
Thank you.
And again, it's optional, for people to fill out. And they've been pretty honest with the information they're giving and we're a pretty good district.
So this is tied to one of our board goals.
Yes.
Yep.
And so we're gonna also look to try and find ways to dig a little deeper. You know, I mean, it would be important to be able to get, you know, more specific so that we can do a better job.
You can't make changes unless you're informed.
Right.
Okay, no policies for second reading. I already did that, sorry. I skipped some pages there. That brings us to the consent agenda. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Chris. And a second? Thank you, Aubrey. All those in favor?
Hi.
Any opposed? I'm sorry?
Aye.
Okay. Any opposed? Any abstain? Appointment.
I'm just gonna add, like, at that point, I should also commend, I would just like to thank, Mrs. Knapp for stepping in. As you can see, we had a hole there that suddenly appeared.
Mhm.
Yep.
And she's helping us out there at the TRA with, music, so. A little commendation for her too. I appreciate it very much because she'd like to be a grandma and.
She could still be a grandma.
To all the students.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, approve the appointment of Pamela Griffin, part-time food service helper, effective September 4th, 2024. May I have a motion?
So
I have Tom and Chris. Any questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Approve the appointment of Donna Atkins, special education teacher, term substitute, effective September 11th, 2024. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Tiana. And a second?
Second.
Thank you, Aubrey. Any questions or comments?
So you might remember that we do long-term sub if somebody doesn't have exactly the right certification. And the secondary special ed is a really challenging.
Yeah.
Certification for us, right?
What does she have?
Elementary special ed,
So,
get an extension,
Get-
get the K-12.
well, yeah, very easily, and they only have to pay $100 now. They've changed it, so yeah, good. I just got a letter on that one.
Well, what's amazing is that you found somebody who at least is certified in special ed to begin
Yeah.
with.
Yeah, it's pretty tough, let me tell you.
Well, our program just went from 10 to 35.
Oh, really?
So 2 years from now, we'll have a glut.
1 year. It's a 1
1
year.
year, okay.
1 year master's degree.
All right.
Great.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Be it resolved upon the recommendation of the superintendent that the Board of Education of the Whitney Point Central School District approve the 4-year probationary appointment of Cassidy Medinowski, special education teacher in the special education teacher tenure area effective September 11th, 2024. May I have a motion.
So moved.
Thank you, Chris. And a second? Thank you, Benny. Any questions or comments?
So I'm gonna say it's an elementary special education position.
Any questions from the board?
And Cassidy has been with us, but she got.
She got her certificate.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
That's what she did.
Excellent. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Be it resolved upon recommendation of the superintendent that the Board of Education of the Whitney Point Central School District approve the appointment of Angela Martinez to the temporary Stronger Connections grant-funded position of student success teacher effective September 11th, 2024. May I have a motion?
Yeah, Millie.
Thank you, Mel.
Second.
Any questions or comments?
So this is for our grant position and in all of these positions, it's very much about people. And it's been nice that there are people who want a job just like this, even if it's just a grant funded position, because it gives them the opportunity to do work that you wouldn't ordinarily get to do.
It's great. Any questions from the board? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Approve the appointment of Jennifer Hines, part-time food service helper, effective September 16th, 2024. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Chris. And a second? Aubrey? Any questions or comments? It's nice to see after losing so many food service workers that we were able to find some, so. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Approve the appointment of Julie Lounsbury, part-time food service helper, effective September 11th, 2024. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Chris. And a second?
Second.
Thank you, Molly. Any questions or comments?
I'm just glad we can do this because it gives them full-time work.
Yep. All those in favor?
I,
Any opposed? Any abstain? And again, approve Julie Lounsbury as a bus monitor effective tomorrow as well. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Tom. And a second? Okay, I heard multiple, somebody.
triple second.
I think it was triple of three of us. Let's pick one.
Okay, I got Aubrey. The next one will be Benny's. Any questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? We have some department chairs, CEA related arts, Taryn Hubbard, and library media specialist, Stephanie Hodkinson. May I have a motion.
Yeah, you should.
So moved.
I'll second.
These are positions that were added in the newest contract.
Great. Didn't we have a library media? No, it was a technology specialist. Okay.
And Stephanie used to do that. That's probably why.
Yes, that is why I am. Any questions from the board? All those in favor?
I,
Any opposed? Any abstain?
Abstain.
We did receive a transportation request. The first one is for Liliana Bourdonnais, Seton Catholic Central. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Chris. And a second?
Second.
Thank you, Molly. Any questions or comments? I know that in the past, we've done it that the students needed to be transported here and then we take them down to Seton. Is that still the same or do they get picked up from home?
I don't know, certain circumstances, there's one.
If it's on a bus run, if for some reason they're way out of the bus run type.
Okay.
These two do happen to be on bus runs,
Mhm.
so they're picked up.
That works well. Okay, any questions from the board? All those in favor? Any opposed? Any abstain? And Anna Cordisco, also to Seton Catholic. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Tom. And a second?
second.
Thank you.
I was waiting for Benny.
Crickets.
She did say it, but.
Yeah.
Any questions or comments? All those in favor?
I,
Any opposed? Any abstain? Equipment disposal. I'm sure that you guys can all read these separate items. They're all going to the Melvin Assey and Son Auctioneers Fall Auction. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Chris. And a second?
Second.
Thank you, Benny. Any questions or comments? All those in favor?
I,
Any opposed? Any abstain? And then we have a second item, a 2007 Chevy 3500 pickup. May I have a motion? Thank you, Aubrey. And a second?
Second.
Thank you, Benny. Any questions or comments? I do just have one quick question. Why was this one put separate?
Because of the tag number for the vehicles, we normally put the VIN number down. So the previous ones had asset tag numbers.
Gotcha, makes sense then.
What was that vehicle used for?
That was a maintenance vehicle. They bought a new pickup this past fall.
How many miles does this one have?
It's old. We're getting rid of it. It's old.
Yeah, I know. It's like you guys usually, because they don't,
you guys use them,
Well, and yeah, I mean, these are used for snow removal too. so
Right,
they get
right.
pretty
That
good.
was, does it come with the plow?
I don't think the attachments, we probably pulled it off for,
Oh,
parsing.
I realize
Molly's looking to go to the
I like
Manatee
that.
auction, buy it.
We try to repurpose
Did
what
you
we
give a
can.
description?
well, they've got the VIN number right there.
I know.
Yeah.
Terry cloth or mine?
I'm thinking duct tape at this point, Tom. Okay, all those in favor?
I.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Superintendent's update, please.
Yep. Just a couple of notes, bus delays, I don't know whether you've heard, I mean, the first couple of days of school are always a lot of bus delays. We had more the first couple of days this year, especially the second bus run. I sent a reminder out to families just to say it's really, really important that you're at the bus stop. Because if you're not, because what happens, just so everybody knows, when there's nobody there with the younger children, we try to call right from the bus, and the bus radios into the transportation office, they try to reach somebody because we don't want to keep going and take the child far away if the parent's somewhere in the vicinity. So that happened more than it's ever happened before the first couple of days of school. So our bus, it caused really significant delay.
For drop-offs, you
For
mean?
drop-offs.
Okay.
So for little kids, you need an adult out there to
Yeah.
drop them off? Okay.
So, but today, for the first, it was the day that we were as close to on time as possible. Plus we have 2-year and 3-year-olds getting on the bus. I mean, everybody
Right.
knows, it's like, well, it's pretty chaotic.
Yeah.
But this year, was even worse. And so, that was a little challenging for families. Obviously you saw the playground, the third floor, just to build on what was said, the furniture's coming, there's some work to be done. We're gonna start slowly to get kids up there. It's a very cool space. I'd like you to be able to see it sometime soon. And I think probably by our next meeting, it'll be like usable, so that'll be exciting. The governor signed the student member of the Board of Education on the 5th of September, so we will be doing that this year. Yep. Okay, so we will having to make some decisions about how that student would be selected and how that's gonna work
They didn't
exactly.
give that yet though, right, Joanne? I didn't
Well,
read the recommendations on how to do it yet, right?
It looks like they're giving districts the option to either have the student body select the person, the principal, or the board can
Okay, I
choose.
read some comments.
And they
And
have
this
to
will
have
be
been
the
in the district for a year.
This will be the student rep for the board,
Yep,
or on the board.
yep.
So
So
they'll
that's,
have like voting power.
No.
No.
no,
I was gonna say.
Oh, she wasn't at, you weren't at the board meeting.
I wasn't at the.
No, so
so
we're,
they won't go to executive session,
I was gonna say
obviously.
that.
no.
They won't have, but they will have a voice.
Yeah.
And
it's
they will be
good.
part of the discussion, and I think there will be lots of times where we'll say, well, what's the student perspective, right?
Right.
So that, that's kind of exciting.
Yep.
And then, as I said, I mentioned already that we implemented Yonder Packs. I mean, you may have heard that the governor is looking, I don't know what that's gonna be. The governor's maybe gonna do something also. She said she's gonna announce something in January. I don't know what that looks like, about phones statewide.
I know
What did she
NISBA's
say again? I'm sorry.
just said no cell phones in schools statewide.
Statewide, that
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
she didn't actually say that for sure, but it's a
No.
conversation, right?
She said in January, she's gonna make some kind of an announcement, so we
Yeah.
don't know what that means.
And what did you hear, Chris?
NISBA's stance on it is let school districts make decisions.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So right now, real quick, how is Yonder going so far?
Yeah, we were saying, when you guys were in executive session, we were talking about how the implementation of the first day, getting the students their bags. Very, very smoothly. We had everybody come into the auditorium, we had our Yonder implementation team set up. So we started thinking like, oh my gosh, the first day, they might be like lined up far outside and, let's get them inside and get them moving. And so that went really well. And then the second day, every day we've been getting smoother with getting students in the building quicker, verifying that their phones are off and in their bag. Students coming back from BOCES, that's going more smoothly too. Right now, it's just the communication. I'm saying to Lauren and Aaron that it's the communication home that we are still working on to verify, like the student says they don't have a cell phone or they don't bring it to school, does the parent, also say, yeah, I can
Confirm that.
verify that. So
Okay.
then they can get their then they can get a pass that says student doesn't bring phone to school, then they can just show that when they come in, because right now.
It's slowing
thankfully,
down.
Joanne and Shannon have been helping in the office in the morning, trying to just, yep, I know you were in here yesterday saying you don't have a phone, we're just verifying that it's the same people who are saying the same. So right now, the students are being super flexible and really, really patient with us as we get that up and running, so.
So right now, when the students come in, so I heard the first day they were going through the auditorium, but when they come in off the bus or from their car, are they coming in the front
Yeah.
here and do they go through the office?
Yep. No, they just come in the front door and they're in the lobby. And then if they're one of the people who either like forgot their underpack or they say they don't have a phone or whatever that is, they come through the office and they get checked out there. But as Molly said, they're gonna get passes eventually once we verify that at home. But the difference, I have to tell you, I mean, I don't know, obviously, but as I walk around the building, the
Yeah.
difference in classrooms is like amazing.
That's what I wanna hear. I wanna hear that right now.
And
That's what I wanna hear.
And, 99% of the kids that have been completely fine, talking to each other.
Yeah, well, I will say I talked to 4 high school students.
I think it's hard for them, it's hard.
You want,
Investment.
yeah, and you wanna know what they said to me? They said because every student doesn't have their phone, they felt it was okay to not have theirs.
Yeah.
And so they felt like they were in a better position because when other students had their phones, they thought they should be on theirs too. So I
Yeah.
just asked 4 students random that I know, and they said, actually, it's not that bad, and we're talking more. We talk at lunch now. I go, this is great. And while we're not thrilled about it, it's not that bad. Okay, that's what I wanted to
You're
know.
not gonna be like us and talk too much?
But I just wanted to let you know, I reached out to 4 students that I know.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really good feedback. So I want to thank you for taking the leap, trusting the process. I know it wasn't an easy decision, but I'm very happy to see kids coming to school and hopefully they'll want to learn again, get
Yeah.
excited about that, talking more, having, better social skills and perhaps not having that need for the phone. So kudos to you and your entire team.
And
for
kudos
that.
to you guys for
Yes.
doing all the heavy lifting on that. So thank you
Absolutely.
so much.
So have they seen a decrease in, putting out fires? I mean, I'm
No,
sure
right.
overnight that does, but then through the day it doesn't add.
So right now, there's probably, to be honest, it is right now, we've had write-ups about, phone use or having, a dummy phone or a fake phone in the pouch.
Yeah.
And they actually still have, so right now it is, but it's a small subsection of students.
Oh, no, I meant like all the nasty stuff that goes on through the
Like
day.
cyberbullying.
That you have to kind of keep chasing that and putting it down. If that's not happening through the day, are you seeing that is less now as well? that you're
Probably not
having-
long enough yet to.
Yeah, right, exactly. I think that's absolutely what we expect to happen. And actually, truthfully, Yonder said when we were working on the implementation process, they're like, listen, it's heavy lifting for a month. You might see a spike of referrals for students, maybe not handing in their phone voluntarily or whatever. But then once the culture is changed in the school, that this is a phone-free zone, then that will decrease,
So I was gonna ask you, Molly, what's the consequence for having?
So it's our progressive discipline policy, so the first offense is, Matt and I work together, it's, a lunch detention. Then if it's repeated, then it's, partial day in school, then it's full day in school and can escalate to an out of school, which becomes less about the phone and
Right.
more about the
Behavior?
insubordination, right? The fact that you're not complying with what our school rule is.
Right,
That's what kids are
exactly.
saying, well, I'm gonna get suspended out of school for phone. No, if that ever happens, it's because you're refusing to follow what our established policy is.
Excellent, wonder, now, I have to know this, I'm sorry, has any teacher or anybody been out in the hallway and seen from one class to another, is there more talking going on? Cause that, I was here
yeah.
one day and I swear to God, I saw every kid on their phone walking from one class to another, and it was the most disturbing image that is like ingrained in my head. And that's what I really wanted to know.
They are, I mean, they definitely.
Yeah, cafeteria is way louder. Oh my gosh, people are so loud in the
I
cafeteria.
love it. I love it. I know that's not.
Seventh and eighth grade. A lot of conversation.
It's just nice though. It's a little different, right? It's different, but
It's not a
good.
bad thing.
Right, I want to say, again, I know this sounds a little silly, but this was one of the reasons why I joined the board is I wanted to see the district get back to basics and start focusing on that and not necessarily the technology. So thank you again for all the hard work. I'm very excited and I'm hoping that we'll see very positive results from this and, you know, it'll pick up speed, I think. It'll be a trend.
And Tiana, there was nothing silly about you saying that.
Okay, I appreciate it.
Seriously.
I will say that, one of my students was in the 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade wing. And she was the most thing that she was most nervous, but she was so appreciative that one of the teachers was telling the students. So, and I did not know this, I didn't realize this, when they take their stuff out of their yonder pack, if they don't get everything out, it will lock and it'll get locked again on them when they take it home.
Oh.
Yes.
They have to push the button.
They have to push the button and that teacher kept just reinforcing. And my college student even said, that scared me, even as a college student, that scared me that if I left my buds inside of there or something that I wanted when I got home, I wouldn't have access to them until I came back to the school. So I was glad that somebody was constantly reinforcing that, because that's an easy thing for a child to get very anxious about.
And to not even think about it.
Right, I didn't know it. I didn't know it was doing it.
I think it's awesome. Well, congratulations, all of you, and look forward to hearing continued progress and positive things from this. So thank you.
So after that closing, I had one more question. What about parents? I was hopeful, so I'm very pleasantly surprised that the students are doing it. Has there been much of a struggle with some of the parents saying that they really didn't feel comfortable?
Yeah, we've had a pocket of parents that say, my kid's responsible, they're just gonna keep the phone in their locker, we're not gonna participate in this yonder thing, so. I just reach out and say, you know, this is part of our policy, what's the difference between putting it in a pouch and putting it in your locker and just putting this in your locker, so. Luckily, when we explain that everyone's doing it, they kind of come around and, you know, they've been good partners for the most part.
So that's, so the students and the adults are, that's wonderful.
Hasn't been a ton of pushback, thankfully.
Because that is a feeling that, you know, a number of kids and parents, you know, right, even before we implemented said, you know, but my kid doesn't have a problem, but you're sort of sacrificing for the greater good. because
Right.
It changes the whole culture in the school when everybody does it. And changes all the learning that happens in classrooms.
Yes.
That's
And
great.
that impacts everybody, even if you were,
Yep.
you know, being.
If you are being compliant and
Yeah, I heard more parents,
Peer pressure.
Yeah.
The other student body doing it, so.
Yeah. I heard more parents are just keeping their kids' phones home.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that, right?
No, right.
They can keep them home and they just have a thing that says that they keep them home now. They don't need a yonder. So that's great. Well, thank you for the update.
I
on
did
that.
hear about the whole group that was gonna use fake phones, though, their old phones and put them in the pouches. I did hear about that.
Of course, they're gonna try to do anything. Well, thank you, Molly,
Yeah.
and thank you, Matt, for that update. It's great to hear things are going well. Thank you so much.
I agree. That brings us to our second opportunity for comments from the public. Is there anybody who would like to speak at this time? Okay. Board of Education comments. I know that everybody has now gotten a draft of the goals that we worked on during our retreat.
I did send them about a month ago. But, I did re-edit. I mean, if you wanna, I had hoped you guys would get them ahead of time to read them, so if we wanna just take these home with us. And read through them and then make our final decisions next meeting,
Okay.
I think is most appropriate, and if you see anything that may be a grammar error or anything like that, and. Molly, just to bring you up to speed, we just worked through them all and decided the ones that we were needing to work on.
How about if instead of waiting until our next meeting, if everybody can make an effort to read this within the next week. And then just send a group email saying, giving your thoughts, like, yep, this is great, or you need to change this word on page 4 or whatever. And nobody should be responding back to that, to that.
Okay.
And just so that maybe by the next meeting, we'll have it finalized and we can have, instead of, because that'll push it out
Yep.
another 2
No,
months.
I agree, that's fine.
Okay.
Email through
Just email on our regular
the
email.
regular. school.
Yeah, the
Okay,
school
I just
email,
wanted to
yeah.
make sure that.
Just
Oh,
send it.
no.
And we
No.
can copy everyone.
Yeah, copy everybody, including
Stacy.
Stacy, Zach, Shannon and Joanne,
Okay.
because while they're not necessarily their goals, they
Right.
are involved in us attaining our goal.
Right.
And I changed all that stuff.
Full staff.
Okay. Gotcha.
But yeah, no, through our
Respond.
district email, I'm sorry,
No, that's okay.
but just if you can try within the next week to do that, just it'll shorten the process for us and we can get it done.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks, Chris, for making the changes that we had. I
Yep.
appreciate it.
Any other board comments? Do we, I'm sorry?
I already said mine.
Okay. Do we need another executive session? Fabulous.
Wonderful.
Then we are going
What is
to,
this Board of Boone Tioga School Board Association calendar? Oh, it's just an FYI, okay.
that was the other thing, and my computer, of course, restarted during our meeting, but it's not ever supposed to do that. On board docs, there was under future dates, upcoming, it's on here. It says October 8th, 2024, Board of Education reorganization meeting. Okay.
We don't want to do that again.
No.
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 If you're ever gonna skip the board meeting, you have to be careful because that's the one that you want to skip, but it's also
Yes.
the one where you might get signed up for
Right,
committees that
right.
you
That's
weren't
true.
necessarily
I
thinking you
signed-
wanted
I
to
signed
do.
Molly up when she's not here. Yeah, she gets stuck sitting with me.
Okay, so we are going to close the meeting at 8:09.
It's a record for early.
No,
No.
we've done it in less than 45 minutes.
Actually, we had a 20-minute meeting once, a long time ago. May I have a motion?
Come on.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? And thank you all for coming and.
Thank you all for coming. Continue to have an amazing year. Inspire young minds.
Congratulations,
Thank you.
Erin, for making it through your first few days.
Thank you.
That first day, you look like